Welcome to Fort Worth 148's podcast, where we meet to discuss Masonic topics and strive to build value in the Brotherhood. The opinions and statements of the participants do not represent any positions or stance of any Grand Lodge or Lodge and are solely the viewpoints of the participants.
Hello and welcome to Fort Worth 148 podcast. My name is Grant Gates and I am filling in for Rit Moore, who you're used to hearing on our podcast. Everyone knows Rit, our secretary and really a cornerstone of our lodge, and he has about 3 million other things he could be doing, so I'm going to try to provide some relief here on the podcast end. I hope you enjoy the podcast, and if you have any suggestions, things like that, feel free to let me know. And if you really don't enjoy the podcast, let me know as well, because I could certainly stop doing it. It is a bit difficult to think about everyone who would be listening to you talk on a subject, and I really do hope you guys enjoy it. When looking for a subject to talk about here for this first podcast, of course, I ended up having what would be considered a little bit of writer's block, and I found some inspiration the other day. Me and my wife had gone out for our anniversary dinner to Saltgrass, and we both made an observation that everyone within our section at every single table had a cell phone out, and neither one of us even bothered to bring our cell phones into the Saltgrass. We don't tend to get too much into posting pictures of our food on Instagram and try to focus on each other while we're out on a dinner date, certainly. And I started thinking about how people are really spending their time these days and how that really relates back to our Masonic lessons. I have trouble dividing my time into 3 equal parts. Is a very difficult subject for me. 3 equal parts that we talk about in our first degree of how to divest your time and how to manage your day. Mine typically looks like about 2,000 to 3,000 different parts. If I really stopped and looked at how my time is divided throughout each day, it's definitely not divided into 3 8-hour chunks. I don't know anyone who really takes that on today, and I would think that perhaps in times before where we're at now, I would say probably your 50s, 60s, 70s, the distractions you would see throughout the day are probably much, much less challenging than the distractions that we have in front of us. With modern cell phones and tablets and electronic devices everywhere, and your car talks to you and tells you when the oil needs to be changed, and so much technology everywhere, your day really gets broken apart very quickly, and it's hard to track how much time is really going to those 3 equal portions that we're heading after. I look at my day and how much time I spend using electronic devices, not only as a means of making a living, but as a means of communicating with others. And I wonder sometimes if the image blurred in my head of some of my friends is simply how their name appears on the screen of my phone, because that's how I really do get to see them. So I think that Masonry tries to teach us, when it talks about 3 equal portions, in modern times, it really should teach us to slow it down a little bit and slow down the way that we look at our day and really try to provide focus by dividing into 3 equal parts. Provide focus to your day. And the subject of focus by divesting our time into equal parts, to me, really resonates. It really brings it into a modern time, and that's really what I wanted to talk about. I had to get there. But taking your day into 3 equal parts will provide you focus in everything that you do. I often see coworkers and friends working 50, 60-hour weeks. And I see these same coworkers and friends taking 1.5-hour lunches and spending the first hour of the day catching up with coworkers and gossiping and and going and getting teas and walking to the coffee shop with their work friends, and then turn around and, I don't want to use a harsh word of complain, but turn around and feel like they're having to be at work an exorbitant amount of time. More and more so, my focus at work is narrowing, and I'm spending more of my time at work focusing on work. And by taking a portion of my day and saying that that portion is for work and no other portion is for work, my 8 hours are much more productive 8 hours, and what would have taken me a 10 hour or maybe a 12-hour workday, I can get down into 8 hours of actual work during the day by telling myself that those are the only 8 hours that I have to do it. And I find myself looking at my cell phone less and less. I find myself taking a much more short and focused lunch break, really focusing, well, uh, mainly memorization work right now, but you guys know about that on my lunch breaks, and really trying to use that time wisely as well, and divide that out as a part of my day. I also consider uh, physical workouts as part of my usual vocation, part of what I need to do. And I try to work that in because I don't see that as an optional portion of my day. So by not seeing it as an optional portion of my day, I've worked that into the time contained for my usual vocation. And then that focus drives home a little more, and I have more time for hobbies. I have more time for Masonic work because I am focusing my time into those three equal parts. It, it really has taught a strong value or a strong lesson in today's modern world. The idea of having that focus in your day and a focus of your time will eventually bring a peace of mind and a consistent possession of the mind. Uh, with that possession, you reach further clarity in what you're doing day to day. And that further clarity can bring a stronger understanding of those around you and allow you, further focus into your time and provide further time for you to explore the grander things in life. I certainly hope this at least provides some thought provoking, even self discussion of mind. And I know this podcast is a little bit shorter, but it takes much longer to write than it does to read. Uh, I hope to see you all soon, and I wish the best to you and yours, and hope that everyone's having just a good time out there. And signing off.